All right, welcome back to yet another lesson here. We are going to get started on lesson 2 of unit 4, and this actually starts on page 7. So if you want to jump to page 7 with me in your unit 4 workbook, we will get started. Okay, now this page has just a giant grid on it. We're going to end up filling out the whole thing, but we're going to kind of get started in an organized manner. So it says use the pattern in the table, not a calculator, to fill in the products you don't already know. Okay, so this is a multiplication table, and we're going to try and do it without a calculator. Okay, calculators slow us down, so we really want to get used to recognizing patterns and doing math with those. So step 1 here, fill in the blue section of row 2 in this multiplication table. Then follow the pattern backward to fill in the yellow section of row 2. Okay, so here are my rows. Here's row 2. So we're going to do this blue section, and it's multiplication. So this row is multiplying by 2, and then whatever the column is. So this column here is 0, and this row here is 0. Okay, so it's kind of like the coordinate grid here, or the coordinate plane. So you got 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 1 up here. Okay, you got your numbers up here. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Let me do this in a pen so that we can maybe see it a little bit better. So this is 2. This is 4. And then 2 times 3 is 6. 8, 10. And maybe you already noticed that it's just going up by 2 numbers. So 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18, 20, 22, and then 24. And then the next step says continue this pattern, but in the yellow section. Now notice in the yellow section, we have negative columns. Okay, so I have 0, -2, okay, same, just opposite signs. -4, that's 2 times -2. -6, -8. And that pattern here of just going every other number would continue. Step 2 here says repeat the process for row 3. So here's row 3. So we're going to start here. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Now let's look for a pattern. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay, that's just going up by 3 numbers. Then we get 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, then 36. Okay. So then we repeat that pattern going backwards. So -3, -6, -9, -12. And maybe you kind of see a pattern going up as well. So if we look at this column of 3, you got 3, 6, 9. Excuse me. And then 4, you got 4, 8, 12. Those are going up by 4s. These were 3s, 5s, going up by 6s. So there's tons and tons of patterns. So step 3 here says use multiplication to fill in the yellow section of column -2. So here's column -2. We're going to fill in the yellow section. Okay, so 1 times -2. -2. So you got -2, -4, -6. Continue that pattern. -8, negative 10, negative 12, negative 14, and negative 16, negative 18. So here we were just going by twos. Then follow the pattern down to fill in the blue section of column negative 2. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the blue section. So we have 0 times negative 2 is 0. Then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So notice all of these were positive. It's the opposite of what was above. Okay, so repeat this process for columns 1 through 5, starting in the blue section and going down to the yellow section. Okay, so we're going to do columns 1 through 5 and start with the blue and then go down to the yellow. So we got 1. 1 times 9 is 9. 1 times 8 is 8. So it looks like we're just going down by 1, which makes sense because we're multiplying by 1. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 0 times 1 is 0. And then here we're going to have the opposite. So negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, and negative 6. Starting with the 2 now. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't get you to see that yellow part. Okay, so it just goes down by 1 there. Starting here with the negative 2, or sorry, the 2 times the 9 is 18. 18 and 16, 7 times 2 is 14. So we're just going down by 2s. So 12, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Then we kind of flip on the other side of that number line. So we have negative 2, which is negative 1 times 2, negative 4, negative 6, negative 8, negative 10, negative 12. Going to 3, okay. Hopefully you kind of know the pattern here. Here we went down by 1. We went down by 2. Here we're actually going to go down by 3. So this would be 24, 21. 6 times 3 is 18. Go down by 3 would be 15, 12, 9, 6, 3, 0, negative 3. Whoop, we flip on the other side. Negative 3, negative 6, negative 9, negative 12, negative 15, negative 18. So that was column 3. Looking at column 4 here, we got 4 times 9 is 36. If I go down by 4, that's 32. Again, go down by 4, that's 28, 24, 20, 16, 12, 8, 4, 0. Okay, these are kind of your X and Y axis. They'll always be 0. Then in the yellow, we got negative 4, negative 8, negative 12, negative 14. Whoop. Negative 16, sorry. And go up 4, that's negative 20, and then negative 24. And the last column they want us to do here is column 5. So we're just going down by 5. So 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 0. Then negative 5, negative 10, negative 15, negative 20, negative 25, and negative 30. Okay, and we're actually going to complete this whole thing. That way we have it done. So like I already said, we're going to look at patterns here. So the X and Y axis, so this axis here is multiplying by 0. When you multiply by 0, you will always get 0. So we're going to go ahead and fill that whole thing in. And your y-axis here is also multiplying by 0. When you multiply by 0, you will always get 0. So we'll fill all of these in with 0. I'm going to lift my camera up a little bit, so hopefully I can get the whole graph in here. I'm pretty close. Okay, let's start up here with these. We'll start here with row 1. We haven't filled that in. So 1 times -4, that's -4. Anytime you multiply by 1, you get itself, or these numbers just go up by 1. So you got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, and we got those rows. Here is 4, so we're going up by 4. So you got 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And we've already done the column 4 here. So these numbers will repeat. So you got 20, then 24, 28, 32, 36, add 4. You get 40, which is 4 times 10, 44, and 48. We can kind of switch, and maybe you know some already. So if we do this tens column right here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then maybe 11s. 11, 22, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 88, 99. Those are some easy ones there. Okay. All right, let's go back to rows. We got 5s. So 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. 6s, so 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, and then 72. Okay, and you can notice some patterns like 62840, 62840. Those are the only numbers that multiples of 6 end in. Okay. So we can do this 6 column here now because I just did it. So 30, 36, 42, 48, 54. Okay. As the numbers get a little bit higher in this 7, 8, 9 region, maybe 12 a little bit, they get just a little more difficult. Okay. So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. 42 plus 7 is 49. 49 plus 7 is 56. 56 plus 7 is 63. And then 70, 77, 84. If we go by 8s, or you can go by 7s here, we hit 49, then 56, and 63. Okay. 8. So this row of 8s here. So we had 56. 56 plus 8 is 64. 9 times 8 is 72. Plus 8, and then plus 8 more would be 96, which is also 12 times 8. And then this last row of 9s, so you have 63. 63 plus 9, or 9 times 8 would be 72. 9 times 9, or 72 plus 9 is 81. 90, 99, 108. So now we can use this to fill in over here or down here or even down here. So we're just going to continue the pattern here backwards. So starting in row 4, we have 4, 0, -4, -8, -12, -16. Row 5, 0, -5, -10, -15, -20. Row 6, we have 0, -6, -12, then -18, and -24. And again, I'm just looking over here to see what those numbers were. 0, -7, -14, -21, -28. 0, -8, -16, -24, -32, 0, -9, -18, -27. Okay, and then we can do this yellow one down here. So column 6 here, we have 0, -6, -12, -18, -24, -30, and then -36. You could also go along with the rows, okay? Like row -2 would be row 2 up here, just opposite, okay? Or you can go vertical, it doesn't matter. So 0, -7, -14, -21, -28, -35, -42. Go to column 8, 0, -8, -16, -24, -32, -40, then -48. Column 9, -9, -18, -27, -36, -45, -54. Column 10, 0, -10, -20, -30, -40, -50, -60. 11 would be -11, -22. Again, just looking at this column going up, -33, -44, -55, -66. 0, -12, -24, -36, -48, -60, -72. And then we have this little blue section over here. So we can just do this row or this column, but all of these will be positive. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 0, 4, 8, 12, 16, 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 0, 6, 12, 18, 24. And our whole graph here is filled out with multiplication. So then if we turn the page here, there's some questions about this graph. So zoom in just a little bit here. Question 6. Find the number at the following locations. So column 12, row 2. So column 12, row 2. That's 24. That's the same as saying 2 times 12. So flip back over. That was 24. Column -3, row 8. Column -3, row 8 was also 24, but it is negative. So -24. Okay. -4, 6. So that's column -4, row -6. So -4, -6. Can't see that. That is 24 as well. And then 12, -2. So column 12, row -2 is -24. Where would 24 be in the multiplication table? Okay, so here we're just making a table. We want to get 24, but we're going to make a table of the column and the rows. Okay, so they start us off with column 3, row 8. I could switch those and say column 8, row 3. So let's look over here. If I go column 8, row 3, I get a 24. Okay. And we can look and see where there are other 24s. Here's the 24. So that's column 12, row 2, which we already had, but we can put it again. Here's the 24 right here, column 4, row 6. Okay. So column 4, row 6. You could also find a 24 down here in the very bottom. There's a positive 24. That's column -4, row -6. So we could put -4, -6. We could also put 6, 4, column 6, row 4. Where would -2 be in the multiplication table? Or sorry, -12. So we're looking over here at -12. Here's one, -4, 3. Okay, they didn't have that one. So -4, 3. Whoop. They had 6, -2. We could have -2, positive 6. Notice that just one of them's got to be negative. Here on this one, both of them had to be positive, or both of them had to be negative. So what about 3, -4? So 3, -4, you get a -12 there. So 3, -4. And then I could have 12, -1. So column 12, row -1. Okay. So here, this was a positive number. Both of them had to be positive, or both of them had to be negative. Over here with the negative, they had to be different signs, one positive, one negative. Circle the sign of the number at the following location. So you got column 5, row -4. So one of those is a negative, so your answer will be negative. Column 8, row 4, both of those are positive, so your answer will be positive. -2, 10. So 1 is negative, so you will get a negative answer. In fact, that's -20. -5, -6. Both are negative, so that would be positive. 12, -9. 1 is negative, so that is negative. Algebraic habits of mind, seeking and using structure. Each row and column in the multiplication table is like a number line with positive and negative values. Each pattern continues as you cross 0, even if you travel backward. The rules for multiplication, multiplying positive and negative numbers, make sense because they keep these patterns going. Okay. Discuss and write what you think. If the product of two numbers is negative, what can you say for sure about the negative or about the numbers? So if you multiply two numbers and it's negative, what can you say about the two numbers? Well, we mentioned up here, if I get a negative, one of the numbers has to be negative, one has to be positive, or they have opposite signs. One positive and one negative, or opposite signs. If the product of two numbers is positive, what can you say for sure about the numbers? Well, that's like when we got 24 up here. Okay, all of these numbers had the same sign. Both positive or both negative. Same signs. If the product of two numbers is 0, what can you say about the numbers? Well, that's like getting the x-axis here. All of these were 0. And I got that because like here, 3 times 0, 0. 8 times 0, 0. So if the product is 0, one of those numbers is going to be 0. Okay, so one of those numbers will be 0. All right, question 13. In the multiplication, 3 times 5 is 15. We say that 3 and 5 are two factors whose product is 15. So factors are these two numbers whose product, that just means you're multiplying, is 15. Can you give two factors whose product is 30? So two numbers that when you multiply will give you 30. Okay, well, we could say 1 and 30. 2 and 15. We could say 3 and 10. We could say 5 and 6. Okay. You could even go as far as saying -3 and -10. Those are factors of 30 that multiply to get 30, or those are factors that multiply to get 30. Can you give an example of a set of 3 factors whose product is 30? So that's 3 numbers that when you multiply will give you 30. So for example, we'll do 2 of them here. If I take 1 and 2 and 15. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 15 is 30. I could say 3 and 5 and 2. So 3 times 5 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. Okay. And you could throw negatives in there. You could say -5 and 2. So -5 times 2 is -10. So this one has to be a negative. So -3. So -5 times 2 is -10. -10 times -3 is +30. All right, who am I? The sum of my digits is 11. U is less than T. The product of my digits is 18. So product means multiply. So if I list out some factors of 18, you would have 1 and 18. Well, I can't put an 18 in one of those. 2 and 9, 3 and 6. Okay, so I can't use these. The sum of my digits is 11, so 9, 10, 11. It looks like this one works, and it says U is less than equal to T. So U is a smaller one, so 2 and 9. So 92 there. But you need to know product means multiplication, and we just talked about those factors. T is less than U. The sum of my digits is 9. The product of my digits is 24. So we need to look at some factors for 24. So that's 1 and 24, 2 and 12. I can't use any of those yet. If you need help finding factors of 12, just look here and see which ones give you 12. So here I had 12. That was 1 and 12 because column 12. Okay, and then I look over here, there's a 12. That was 2 and, or sorry, we're looking at 24. Sorry, I thought we were looking at 12. Okay, so you got 2 and 12, looking for 24, 3 and 8. 3 and 8, so 8, 9, 10, 11. So that one works. And T is less than U, so 38. Okay, and you can use that table there on page 7 to kind of help you out on those. We have one more video for this unit or this lesson, but you can potentially start some of the additional practice problems on page 11. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out. If not, I'll see you in the next lesson.